Hey traders, Akil Stokes here of TradingPower.com and welcome to this week's Live Room Weekend Review. We're coming off a very important day. Not only was it the end of our trading month, but also the end of our trading quarter and end of our first half of trading in 2013. Now this time is very important to me because it's at this time of the year where I really like to do my self-reflection and evaluation, meaning I go back through my trading journal, go back through my statistics, and see if there's anything that needs to be changed, added, taken out, tweaked. Basically, if there's anything I can do to improve my trading. And for you guys that are new to following me, one of the philosophies that I follow in my trading and in my life is the word Kaizen, and it's Japanese for continuous improvement. And my mind is always thinking, hey Akil, how can I get a little bit better? Can I tweak this? Can I add an entry technique to get me involved in more trades? Can I take away an entry technique that's gonna keep me out of some bad trades? So that's always running through the mind, and I think it's very important that each and every one of you guys do that, because the key is to get better. It's one of those fields where we're never going to be perfect. We're never going to catch every winner. We're never going to avoid every loser. But we can try to get as close as possible. So, also, I like going through stats, and because I don't want to make this talking part too long. I'm going to get you guys to our flashback videos pretty quickly. I'm going to save most of that for the written review, which you can find on the TradingPowered.com website. Just go over there, and if it's not on the home page, just click my face on the right hand side and it should have a list of my videos. So head over there and you can read the written part and just a few analysis about what patterns have been performing well, what pairs have been performing well, and the overall performance of the room so far. I'll tell you this, last month was our first losing month of the year. It was also our third losing month since we started the live room about 18 months ago. We did bounce back this month. We did have another positive month. It was looking like a home run month about 2 weeks ago, or about a week ago. We caught a pretty good hot streak and kind of fizzled off by the end, but still a very profitable month. And again, you can check those details out in the written review. So let's get into these live room recap videos right away. Then at the very end, I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about group trading and a little bit about how to be consistently profitable and what that can do for your trading career. We did have a few higher time frame trades that got filled, but we're not counting those for the live room. But the one that got that got filled was on euro dollar, and was actually a structure based trade where we had a big dump off in the morning after Draghi opened his mouth, and I don't even know what got said, but the market fell off. And what we were doing, we were just waiting for a trend continuation trading opportunity. We saw the market had broke previous levels of structure right here and right here. We also saw that we had a DSR level and some major structure a little lower. So as soon as we saw that break and close below structure, I told the traders in the room that we're most likely to see a retracement, and well, that's what we got. So we waited for the market to retrace up. RSI went overbought. We did a L3C entry, and well, the rest is history. We shot for target ones at a retest of structure, and target twos at a combination of a 127 Fibonacci extension and a 1618 Fibonacci inversion, making about 3102, making about maybe about 20 pips on target one and another 14 on target two, so 35. So making about 50, probably 50 something pips on this trade. So one for one, 50 something pips. Not a bad way to start the week. So Wednesday was another good day in the live room. Actually a tale of streaks, I guess you could say. We started off the room with a nice trade on pound dollar. It's actually a trade I brought up in the syndicate earlier. It was a bat pattern, as you can see here in gold, actually on the 15-minute chart. Bat pattern here in gold that spiked up to hit target one for about 30 something pips, and at the same time we actually had a cipher as well on pound yen. I believe it was looking at, see if I can remember where this was. Here we go. X to A to B, B to C, C to D, which you can see rolled down for two targets as well. So we started off 2 for 2 trading. I think we were up about 65 or so pips, and really the market died right after that. We did a lot of analysis, but pound yen, euro yen, Aussie and cable basically just were at a standstill until the very end of our session. It was at that point where we entered two other trades, and we had two losers. We had a Gartley pattern fail here on euro dollar, as you can see, and a structure-based trade fail here on pound dollar. So giving us 2 for 2, and really the deciding trade was going to be Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar, we caught a nice little simple ABCD pattern here on the 15-minute chart. What happened was we measured out actually two ABCD patterns, but Aussie was shooting up. Measured out an ABCD pattern, looked left, we saw a pretty good structure level right here, and we just did our normal analysis, brought in some Fibonacci's from swing high to swing low. We got a 382 in there, if you can see it. Took this swing high to this swing low, we got a 50% in there, and then just started throwing in Fibonacci extensions and Fibonacci inversions. You can see we have a nice little cluster of 618s, 50%, 127, 382, smaller 618, a smaller 1414, and decided that this was a good level to look for a counter trend move on Aussie and look for a short opportunity. So what we did after that was we went down to our lower time frame, so our 5-minute chart, and used the double top entry technique. You can see the market went overbought right here. We reacted off of that, retraced a little bit, giving us a nice symmetrical double top, which is a beautiful one. You can see 2 candles down, a middle candle, then 2 candles up. And well, we've reacted, our side of divergence as well, but we've reacted right off that level, and we spiked down to retest our previous structure, looking left and hitting target ones for about 34 pips. So I don't have a pip count on the total for today. I know we're up. I know the first two trades put us up pretty big. The second two brought us back to reality, and with a first target winner on this, we should be back up in good standing for today. And who knows? Hopefully, we'll see this thing hit target 2 for another another 20, another 60 pips on target 2. So if that happens, it'll be a great day. It's already a good day, and we're having a heck of a week thus far. So Friday was the end of our trading week, our trading month, the trading year over in the UK, and the end of a trading quarter and trading half here in the US. And was a pretty light day in the live room. Only took about 2 trades. We took one loser on New Zealand dollar earlier, structure-based trade, and currently in a cipher pattern right now on euro dollar. That's not looking too well, down about 13 pips as it fights off that 130 even handle. So we'll see about that one. But today was a great day for looking at trades outside of the normal day trading portfolio. And it's important to realize that we do more than just day trading. Even though it's a day trading room and that's what we're keeping the stats off of, we take a lot of looks at different pairs, different time frames, and between myself and the 30 to 40 traders that are in the room every day, we find some pretty good opportunities. And here's a look at what we had today. We had a New Zealand dollar trade, bat pattern that we saw. That's basically at market right now, so we'll see how that fares. A few of the traders in the room earlier called a bat cipher on euro dollar that ended up being both a target 1 and target 2 winner. We have one that we looked at yesterday. I'm not sure if I put this out to the syndicate, but it was a bigger. I erased it all, but a bigger bat pattern here on pound yen or pound Aussie, looking something like this. You can see it's still up about 100, only up about 131 pips right now. So a good one as well. And along with dollar Swiss, which ran up to be an easy target 1 winner already, and you can see that's heading towards target 2, which is about 50 pips up right now with about 20 more to go. So probably a 70 pip target 2 winner. So a great trading day outside of our normal live room pairs. And although this doesn't, it's not going to show up in the stats that I showed you guys earlier. It's not going to show up in the yearly results. But who cares about those results? The key to the room is to learn how to trade. If you're new, it's to learn how to trade. If you're struggling, it's to break past those psychological barriers. And if you're a good trader, it's to find more opportunities, because 40 traders in a room are going to see a lot more than what I'm going to see with my own 2 eyes. And if these things roll up nice, this can be a monster day, a monster trading day to end our month, which would be very, very good. Okay, traders, so I hope you enjoyed those videos and hope you were able to learn or at least pick up something that can positively affect your trading. I want to talk a little bit about the idea of group trading, and this idea comes from an article that I wrote about 2 weeks ago. It's called The Trading Form, Asset or Liability. I'll throw the link under here, but I got a lot of feedback from that article where I interviewed a handful of professional traders and asked their opinion on trading forms and if trading in a group is beneficial or detrimental to a trader. And I didn't really give a lot of my opinion at the end, but I want to touch on it right now just because I've been getting a lot of questions about what I think. Now, recently, I've been part of two groups. Really, the first is my mastermind group, which has worked great. And the second is my live room. And I consider my live room to be a trading group because, well, it's changed a lot from since I first started running it. At first, it was just a place where traders can come in and watch how I day trade the markets, look at the techniques and strategies that I use, and ask questions about why am I doing this, why am I doing that. But as the room has evolved and we've gotten more used to, or I've gotten more used to the traders in the room, it's really become a great community. And Friday was a great example of this, as you just saw in the video, where we have a lot of very good traders in there that watch a lot of different pairs than what I watch on a lot of different time frames. So they're constantly shooting out signal after signal. Hey, Akil, can you take a look at this? Hey, we have this over here. We have this over there. And although you still need to be disciplined and trade only what's in your portfolio and only what meets your rules, having those extra eyes in the markets helps a lot. And I was able to make a lot of profit that I probably would have missed uh, by the pure fact that I had 30 odd traders in the room uh, hunting around. So that's pretty cool, and that's definitely a benefit. And that's one of the cool things about the syndicate. You guys, for you guys that are syndicate members, I think you got access by now already to the new desktop platform. If not, it's coming really soon. But the cool thing about that is not only will Jason and I and some of our mastermind members and trusted traders be posting trading ideas from the higher time frames as we did in the past, 60-minute, 4-hour charts. But now that opens us up to even more opportunities. We're looking at 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, range bar charts for you intraday traders. But before I let you guys go, I want to address one question. I got this from one of my live room members at the end of Friday's session. He was a newer member and asked, basically said, hey, I'm working this job and I want to get into trading. Be honest with me. Is it a real possibility that I can make a career out of trading? And my answer is yes. You can become a full-time trader. You can make a living just out of trading. Now, that being said, I wouldn't get into trading with that mindset that you're going to do it right away. The biggest myth that we hear is that you're going to start trading, you're going to enter the Forex market because we're so highly leveraged, and you're going to start doubling your account every 2 months, every 3 months, you're going to double your account. And there's traders out there that think they can turn a $10,000 account into a $500,000 account in, a year. And I guess it's possible. And I do know some very good traders out there that, average 20% a month, which is big. But for the majority of people out there, it just doesn't happen that way. If you even become a good trader, and that's a big if, seeing how 90% of us fail, if you become a good trader, it's still a grind. And my advice would be this: don't worry about doubling your account. Don't worry about shooting for the moon. What's important is that you become consistently profitable. And we show a great example of that in the live room. And, I'm not a big shot trader. I don't go out there and have 50% months. Every once in a while, I'll pop out a big one, maybe 15%, 18%, something like that. But that's once in every blue moon, maybe twice a year. Other than that, my stats are just a smooth grind, as you can see by the equity curve right here. It's 3% here, 4% here, 2% there, 7% here, back to 3%, and it doesn't seem like much, but when you add that up over time and take whatever your account balance is right now and add 3%, on average every year. You add that up over time, and you're going to be pretty surprised with what type of returns you can get. Add to that put in some money management, and it gets even better. But the key is, if you can show a consistent track record of making profit, making 3% a month, and you're showing very minimal drawdown, which is what's important to the prospective clients out there, you're going to have people throwing money at you. You're going to have people knocking on your door saying, hey, I've got a $500,000. Can you trade this for me? And those people with the $500,000, they probably have another couple mil sitting around somewhere waiting to see if you actually do a good job with the first half a mil. And that's how you become a professional trader. That's how you can really quickly make a career out of this. Just again, do the math right now. Take $500,000, and let's just say you have a 1% subscription fee or management fee, however you're doing it, depending if you're licensed or not. You take 1% out of that half a mil a month, and you'll see that you can make a good living. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this week's weekend review. And live room members, remember, I will see you Monday this week, Monday and Tuesday, since it's going to be a shortened week. So, as always, traders, plan your trade, trade your plan, and I'll see you next time around. Take care.